Sea level rise is one of many concerns related to climate change. However, there seem to be a lot of misconceptions about where this is coming from. While the melting of glaciers and sea ice is contributing to the rise in sea levels, much of sea level rise is related to the overall increase in ocean temperatures. As the water warms, it expands and takes up more space. This effect is small, but over the vastness of the ocean, it can be extreme. In order to demonstrate this concept, you will need a clear plastic bottle, a tool for cutting a hole in the top. Here I am using the corkscrew on a utility knife, a straw or other small, clear tube, a hot glue gun, duct tape, food coloring, water, a thermometer, a ruler, and a heat source like a lamp, although a hairdryer would also work. This can easily be assembled prior to class time to be used for demonstrations. First, make a hole in the bottle cap large enough for your straw to be inserted snugly. Trim your straw to length, about 3 or 4 inches, then insert it in the bottle cap. Then, hot glue around the straw to seal the joint and attach it firmly in place. Next, use narrow strips of duct tape to make sure this is secure. Be careful to avoid covering the straw as well as making sure the cap is still able to be removed, so you can later fill this with water. Put a generous amount of your desired food coloring in the bottle. The water should end up opaque enough that the water level in the straw can be clearly observed at a distance. Then, fill the bottle with water to the brim, and put the cap and straw back on. Carefully put a bit more water in the straw so that the water level is visible. This will take some finessing so that the colored water is visible. I found it helpful to plug the hole in the straw and invert the whole bottle. Now we're ready to begin the experiment. Measure the initial height of the water in the straw with a ruler, and place a lamp with an incandescent bulb next to the water bottle to be used as a heat source. Lastly, take the temperature of the water in the bottle before we begin heating. Record all measured values as well as the time to be used in calculations at the end of data collection. Now for the boring part, the waiting. Wait until the water level has risen about halfway up the straw. For me, this took about 20 minutes. Once you've decided to finish the experiment, take measurements of the temperature, height of the water, and the time again. Turn off the light, and it's time to begin data analysis. Here I am graphing the results of my experiment with temperature on the x-axis and height in centimeters of the water on the y-axis. I'm going to graph this to get a linear relationship between temperature and height of water to see how much the water's height changes over time while it's being heated. There are many ways to modify this experiment, especially in the data collection portion, to make it more difficult for students at a higher level. For example, you could calculate the change in the volume of the water in the tube as it heats and compare it to known values of how much the sea level has risen as global temperatures have increased.